Alright guys, we're back with the Let's Play of Final Fantasy X HD Remastered for the PS4. I am James the Show. Coming back from the last time I remember we had just passed the tutorial battles. You got into that fight with Kimari. All I did off screen was just a little bit. I got a little bit here, nothing major, nobody's strength really went up at all. But if you notice, I did get haste, so I did manage to get haste with Titus. Like I say, I do recommend you get haste. You don't have to for the upcoming battles, but I do recommend you get it. It will be a lifesaver. It'll make the battle a whole lot easier, a lot more simple. I think the stats may have changed around a little bit. You'll notice I don't learn this ability yet because I only have one ability sphere. I would recommend you save this ability sphere. There's an ability I'm about to come up on in the next few spear levels that I'll probably get in the next boss battle. So whatever you do, do not use that last ability sphere because, like I say, you're not gonna get any ability sphere that was gonna happen. Like with the ability, you only get one ability sphere. You only get like a few early game. So that's why I say be very careful of using them, because that's why I haven't moved the unit at all. But once I get that ability in the HD, excuse me, when you get that, you'll be able to understand what once I show you, the HD remaster makes this so much easier because the PS2 version was a drag. I'll show you exactly why. Just come up on this platform and go onto the boat. Oh, the kid is crying. He's gonna miss Yuna.
Goodbye.
And this is the start of a very long, epic journey that this will be. Now I thought this takes an incredible amount of strength of what he's doing. That's some extreme strength. Nope, Lulu is my favorite girl in this game. If I'm not mistaken, Lulu was about the same age as Waka. Alright, so go up, you know, the unit's like a big deal.
Word is,
so
that summoner's got noble blood.
So everybody wants to talk to her.
I heard she's Lord Braska's daughter. You don't say.
Lord Braska's daughter?
So just keep going up. Well, now if you really want to, you can always just come back and talk to Waka, so it's gonna be like a bounce back and forth.
So is Yuna's father famous or something?
She's the daughter of High Summoner Braska. You saw his statue at the temple. Lord Braska defeated Sin 10 years ago. Yuna's the heir to a great legacy.
It's tough when your father's famous.
Huh?
Waka's a bit lacking in the imagination department.
Huh?
Thanks, Lulu. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, now that that's all done, you can run up here, and now you and Yuna can have a little chit-chat.
The wind. It's nice. You're a blitzball player, aren't you? From Xanarkin, right?
You hear that from Waka?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Waka. Waka doesn't believe me at all.
But I believe you.
Huh?
I've heard in Xanarkin, there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
Huh?
Great blitzball tournaments are held there, and the stands are always full.
How do you know that?
A man named Jack told me. He was my father's guardian.
Remember my good old Jack?
Checked. My father. His name is Jecht.
Amazing! You know, our meeting like this must be the blessing of Yevon.
Sounds like him, but it can't be him.
Why not?
My old man, he died. 10 years ago, off the coast of Xanarkin.
I'm sorry.
He went out to sea for training one day, and never came back. And no one's seen him since then.
Why, that's the day that Jecht came to Spira.
But,
It's true, I first met Jecht 10 years and 3 months ago. I remember that was the day my father left. The date fits, doesn't it?
yeah, but how would he get here?
You're here, are you not?
I told you needed to get that to get your Aeon's overdrive. Here comes that battle, and I'm pretty sure you can pretty for sure you know who's coming. That's Kimari in action with his animal-like ability and characteristics. These cutscenes are just gorgeous. What a cinematic scene. Now, you guys remember how big Sin was in the first video.
What do you think you're doing? Stick a harpoon in him and we'll all get dragged under.
Sin is going for Kilika. We gotta distract it.
Our families are in Kilika. Forgive us, Lady Summoner.
wait! Oh boy!
Yes, they are going to do the most impossible thing you would ever think. Battle I mentioned, the boss battle I mentioned. This is the battle with Sam. So, to start this battle off, you got 3 sin skills. Remember how you fought the first sin spawn? Kinda screwed that up. That was not it. So, call in Walker. If you notice, if you attack one of these guys, you cannot kill it in one shot. So, you let Kimari and them do these things because they have 200 health. So what you want to do is attack and keep attacking the first few waves that you can. I'm about to really get into how you can really grind off this boss battle. So with Titus, you want to start off with putting haste on himself. Remember what I said about the enemies that flicker? If you see them flicker, kill them. You really only need to put it on Titus because it really doesn't matter. So what happens with Titus is when he does that, all you want to do is cheer. It's to raise the attack and defense of all your physical attackers. So you just do the same, just your rinse and repeat. You keep doing this. The generalization of it is you want to make sure you cheer them up to a point where they can kill all of these sin spawns in one go. So you keep cheering. Walker goes. Now he can kill them in one shot. No matter what you do, these things will keep coming. There's an endless amount of these sin spawns. Every time you kill one sin spawn,
how many of these things are there?
The fin! Attack the fin!
Don't worry about that. So what happens is, like I say, you want to keep cheering because also you want to cheer so Walker's ball can do more damage. The fin never attacks you, so you don't have to worry about that fin at all. You just want to make sure you get them strong enough so they can kill all of the sin spawns in one shot. Walker's typically your weakest character for the most part to start the game in terms of physical attack. So you just want to keep cheering. Probably do this a few times. Once you get to the damage scale that you want to do. Like Titus is doing 400 damage now. And you can just rinse and repeat. I'll probably do this for maybe about 2 minutes. I don't want to stay in this battle too long. You guys are not sitting here just watching me kill enemies for like crazy. Plus I don't want to get too strong. I want to make the game at least a bit of a challenge to show you guys and for anybody that's new, this is how you can beat enemies weaker than you should be, but you don't have to overlevel to beat some of these enemies. You don't have to get super strong. Besides, all training I'll do, I probably do it off screen, so I don't have to do too much video editing, and I can just get straight when I record. I can just get straight into it for you. So maybe I got like another minute and a half. Once I do that, I'll show you how to start killing a thing. And while we're doing this too, for this next 2 minutes, does anybody ever want to talk about how Titus literally looks like he's dressed in the dark? I mean, my man's clothes are everywhere. One short leg is longer than the other. He wears those crazy boots. He's got that small little hoodie on with overalls. I'm like, this dude is all over the place. I always laughed at it as a teenager when I first started to play this. It was ridiculous. Nope. Every one of these sin scales you kill, they give you about 2 AP. So you can either calculate how much you're getting, or you can just keep going. I've literally sat in this battle before for an hour, and I got a lot of spirit levels. if you got a turbo controller and you can just set it to where they can just constantly attack, you can do the setup like I showed you, and you can just let them go. You can literally come home and just still be, you can go out for a bit, come back, and the battle is still going. They're going to be doing 80. You probably would have a ton of it. But remember, every time they go up a spirit level, the AP they need to go up another one gets a little bit higher each time. But just like anybody that goes up regular levels. You can't stay in this battle, but when I told you the first time in the first video, you can't do, well, I don't know if that was a part of the second video that I missed, but you can sit in here. You can learn a lot of overdrive modes. You can learn warrior, you can learn slayer, you can learn different charge modes just by doing this. So my 2 minutes is just about up. So the way you do this is you leave one sense bar. When a guard with Titus, let it flicker, doesn't matter. In this case, call in Lulu. Now what you want to do is you want to aim at the fin. So with Titus, white magic, and you want to put haste onto Lulu. She's already a slow character, so you really want to. Her and of course, you know, Arn, they are really slow characters, so don't be shocked. I normally would wait until I would normally wait until such as you get wild. You know, Titus has at least 20 more MP. That way I can use haste a lot more times, but it doesn't typically work that way. And if you notice, those spines did a lot more damage than normal. They did a lot more this time around. So you want to keep waiting around. Lulu goes for another fire. Let's see him. So you just guard with Walker because he doesn't really do anything. This is where you want to call out your AM to finish the battle with an overkill. Well, you just summon Valfor. Eventually, after a while, I will turn these on short so they don't take so long, because some of the later AIs, they take a ridiculous amount of time to summon. It's like, it's kind of, you don't really need to see it all the time. But the first one, if I change it to short, the first time I summon it will always be that way. So what we do is, remember you got Energy Blast. I will show off Energy Ray, but for the most part I'm going to use Energy Blast. In fact, no, I'll show off Energy Ray. Aim it at the fin. If you don't know about Energy Blast, this is the one you can use it most of the time. You overkill it. Overdrives are like guaranteed critical hits. So the fin is dead. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's a very simple battle. But it is a very good way to get an early fight on. Early AP on. Nope, neither one of these three characters can swim, so you will never see them underwater, ever. You can see Titus got washed off the boat. That's why Walker was looking around like, hey, where is it? And no sense scale to just constantly attack him. I always wondered, he looked like he was dead and he threw a potion at him. I thought he would have threw a phoenix down at him. And if you thought this was over, you are You are dead wrong. So you want to save at least 16 MP, because before this battle you want to do, you can do the same thing here too and build up a lot of AP, because them sin scales under there, they do generally about the same thing. So what you want to do is haste. You want to haste up Titus with Waka. Let's see, you have, does he have a weapon with a sensor on it? No, he doesn't. So what you want to do with him, General, if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to hit this thing with darkness. Yes, you can. That'll make it a little easier to dodge its attacks. So, Titus again. You want to haste on Waka. And if you ever notice, you can attack these sin scales. But these are a lot weaker, so you don't have to really worry about it. So, Titus again, this is where you want to start using cheer, because it's only the two of you guys, so you want to make sure you kill this thing as fast as possible. But if you notice, the sin scales constantly come back. So as long as darkness is on him, you won't have to really worry about this thing attacking you. He does have an attack called Blender. He may use it, he may not. It may not be a big deal, so Blender can do some damage to you, but in reality this thing doesn't have a lot of HP, so Titus have a weapon? No, he doesn't. No weapons with sensor. I'm gonna cheer at least twice more. To make sure we can do some pretty good damage to it. Just want to kill this thing as fast as possible. This is a good time to keep Titus's overdrive. I think Blender doesn't do that much damage. And you did raise your physical defense, so yeah, you just keep letting them show up. I'm actually gonna look up this enemy's HP because I'm not really sure what it was. I know it's a shade over 2,000, but I can't say exactly how. I'm not sure exactly how much it is, as I know it's a shade over 2,000. Huh? He has exactly 2,000. So he has exactly 2,000 HP. I'm pretty sure we took a lot. So you have not seen Titus. This is the first time you will see Titus's overdrive, because I've never used it. So, spiral plate. The way you do his, you have to hit it in the middle. If you do not hit it in the middle, it won't do its extra damage. And you see I overkilled it. So like I say, it's always best to overkill bosses. You never know what item it'll drop, or you may get that rare chance to get double items, more AP, more money. You want to get all of that, so we killed it. So I got 100. Normally I get about 300. So that's not really a lot that I normally get. You see I got 35 power spears. You get a lot of power spears from that. So you got some shields. You got a few ability spears, so now it's a good time to use them, because you need that extra ability spears. Like I say, especially if you play in the PS2 version, you will never see those. This is a really cool cutscene. Just so had all the destructions been called. This is what Sam looks like when he can actually come home. Big creature.
When Sin attacked Xanarkand that day, I woke up in Spira. I kept hoping it would work in reverse, too.
I will defeat Sin. I must defeat Sin.
I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was that day, on the sea, under the burning sun. I started to give up hope. I was in a foreign world. I wasn't going home. This was my new reality, and I was stuck in it for good.
Like I said, it's a really sad time. Sin killed so many people. It's really terrible. So even with those spear levels, I'm still not going to put Yuna into it and give her... I'm still not going to use her yet because that's only got like 5 ability spears. She needs like 6 to really get going because she has like 4 different abilities she needs to learn. Like I say, the person you really want to watch, Waka has an ability that is really good for this part, for early game, that really helps you with Yuna.
I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the temple in Besaid.
Oh, milady summoner!
If there is no other summoner here, please allow me to perform the sending.
Thanks, BT.
Our loved ones. We feared they would become fiends.
Please, take me to them.
We're about to see one of the coolest scenes of this entire game. Because normally I've like to like in the PS2 version.
We'll go see what we can do to help in town.
Like it would normally be like Yuna would just sit here with like maybe 2,000. She would have like maybe like 2,000. How would I say? She'd have probably maybe like 2,000 or so. Like she'd have not 2,000, but maybe like 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 spear levels. And it's just like, man, like what would you really do? I just sat there and I couldn't do much with her. Titus, she just keep the balls rolling. He does have an ability back there. I'll eventually go back and get when I get some more ability spears. But for him and Waka, the only thing I'm really for Waka, I can use this now and get a silent attack. This will help against a lot of enemies to use magic. And if anybody noticed, magic does a ton of damage in this game if you're not careful. Yuna, like I say, as you see, she has these 4 different abilities, and I'm not going to use my last 4 on that. Kimari is, like I say, he's like your strongest character this time around. It's really good to use him, like the start of the game, because he's like, physically, he can become really strong, really fast. So I'm not going to save it there just yet. And now we can just hit, something I can do. Cause I don't have much money. Cause I normally have money, a lot of money towards them. That's normally a shop, but since this everything that's happened, they're not open. So now you're about to see one of the coolest scenes ever.
What's ascending? Are we going somewhere?
You truly are clueless. Are you sure it's just your memory that's the problem? The dead need guidance. Filled with grief over their own death, they refuse to face their fate. They yearn to live on and resent those still alive. You see, they envy the living. And in time, that envy turns to anger, even hate. Should these souls remain in Spira, they become fiends that prey on the living. Sad, isn't it? The sending takes them to the far plane, where they may rest in peace.
Summoners do this?
is walking on water. I don't know when she took her boots off, but she is literally walking on water. How was she able to do that? Not sure. Maybe she put all her chakra into her feet. I still think it's one of the coolest one of the coolest scenes of the entire game. Just to see her standing on water and to make it rise like she did. Eventually, those spirits, you'll see where they come from. You'll see where they go eventually. We do go to that part in the game, too.
It must be tough, being a summoner.
Yuna chose her own path. She knew from the beginning what it meant. All we can do is protect her along the way, until the end.
Until the end? What's the end?
Until she defeats sin.
Oh.
I hope I did okay.
You did very well. They've reached the far plane by now, but no tears next time. Hmm?
I wished there would never be a next time. No more people being killed by sin. No more sendings for Yuna. Everyone stood there watching her. It was strange, and somehow horrifying. I never wanted to see it again.
Save it here. And let's see. Let's just keep going. I mean, after that type of intensity, it's like you just kind of be left with chills. The first time I saw that scene, I was like, wow. So you just come out. Here's Dado.
Hey, you awake? Captain Walker's waiting for you.
So you just follow Dado this way, and he'll walk. No, Wako just come over here with the Aurochs.
Ah, there you are. Be said, Aurochs, huddle. On to the temple, where we pray for victory. Go! High Summoner O'Halloran used to live in the Kilika Temple here. Yup, Lord O'Halloran was once a great blitzer, you know.
Waka. Praying for victory's all good. But is this right?
Something wrong with enjoying blitzball?
Is this really the time?
This is the only time. The players fight with all their strength. The fans cheer for their favorite team. They forget pain, suffering. Only the game matters. That's why Blitz has been around for so long. At least that's what I think.
Whatever you say.
Let's play and win, right?
Right.
Temple's beyond the jungle there. Let's go.
Okay, so now I forgot we do have another mini-boss coming up soon. So, generally you can talk to this lady. If you try to talk to that chest, she will do that. So, remember when I said sensor? I will buy one of these for Titus, because I really do need it, and I need one for Waka. And I'll get one for the Lulu. Now, what you do want to do is get these, you want to get these boost HPs. They're very good to have. You know, you can never go wrong with having more HP. So every time you boost their HP, it'll go up by a little more. So instead of just 200, it'll go up by more. Nope, by this time I would have a lot more money. So equip it to everybody. You don't really need all the type of sensor on everybody, because most of the time you'll have somebody in that has sensor on. I don't think I equipped yeah, is that wrong? I probably won't put it on Titus because I'm gonna have one of the other ones in. I want him to keep his strength plus 5%. That guy's still devastated, so it's kind of crazy. Now, if you see to the left over here, you see this child sitting in this rubble. I don't know how this affects the story, but if you go up here and press X, you can jump over here.
Whoa!
I always typically save them. Never go wrong doing a good deed for a child. Always save the children. Continue on to the jungle. Now you can always save it here.
What's up?
Yuna's saying she wants you with us.
Huh?
I want to ask you to be my guardian.
You know what? There's no time for jokes, yeah? He may be a blitzball whiz kid, but up against fiends, he's a newbie.
Not a guardian, then. I just want him nearby.
What?
What? What do you mean?
It's just that... Well,
We're all going to the temple anyway. Can't this wait till later?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
There's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just not really sure what's going on.
My apologies.
And Kimari, like the silent person he is. Now, if you see this enemy in front of us, see that big thing in the back? That's called Ocho. It is optional. You do not have to fight it, but I typically choose to fight it because it gives you something that you can actually use. So, save it here. Before you do fight Ocho, again, if you guessed it, you would want to get your overdrive for. How do I say this? You want to get your overdrive for your Aeon. So what I am going to do is I'm gonna move Yuna around, just because what I need her to do is I need her to get a bit stronger, because every time Yuna gets stronger, the Aeons get a bit stronger. So her stats are completely tied into the summoner. So you'll learn more about that when we meet a certain character later on. Every time each summoner has different abilities. Alright, so I forgot tutorial battle. You need to hit this tutorial battle before you can do anything else.
Kimari, why don't you use Lancet on it?
What's a lancet?
Normally, it's a skill that weakens enemies and heals the user. But when a Ronso uses it, that Ronso can sometimes learn Fiend's abilities.
Hey, sounds cool.
So you just use special, use Lancet. Now he learns Seed Cannon. Every time Kimari does that, he learns that he gets a full overdrive bar. These things are not really important. They're weak to fire. They're not very hard to kill. And Lulu, with Lulu's whole thing, all she has to do is normally just, she has, like I told you, she has a ridiculously high evasion. so a lot of time the enemies won't be able to hit her. So now that that tutorial battle is out the way, there's a reason you want to get your the overdrive for your Aeon when you fight Ocho. Of course, you know, I will explain that. Now, generally, you know the usual. You can let Titus kill this thing. Marty can guard just to get him some HP. Since that is lightning,
Anyone thirsty?
you just use a water attack on it. That'll kill it. As you can see, with her little power-up she got strong enough for. With Kimari, you want him to leave, and you want to call Yuna in here. So with Yuna,
I'm here.
you summon Balfour.
Please, fight with us.
So, all you do is boost. Like I told you before, even if you can't really boost too well, like I told you, Balfour has a ridiculously high evasion, so it will move, and even when it moves, its overdrive meter still went up. So if it dodges or it takes the damage, it's great. So even then, those things can poison you when they attack you, as you saw before with Titus. So Aeons are immune to all status effects except Curse. You'll see what Curse does later on, because you really won't bother with it for the most part. So you just keep this up until it gets its overdrive. Just keep boosting. You really don't, because I mean, Balfour's strong enough to overkill this thing if I'm not mistaken. Because if you remember, like I said, they all have it, and this thing is weak to ice. Most bees you come into contact with, bee enemies, they are weak to ice, not fire. This isn't Pokemon. Any of that may know the rules of Pokemon. They're not really weak to it. They're more weak to ice than anything. One more time and we should have an overdrive. And there's an overdrive, and if you remember, these things do have magic, and that their magic can be really strong. As you can see, it overkills it because the Aeons in this game really make this game a little too easy sometimes. They literally can break the game, so when you get this going, you get the spirit levels. Stage Charm, sometimes you want to use this. Like I say, look at Titus, he's got over 700 HP now. I'll come back for those abilities for sure. I can do that off screen, won't really make a big deal. Now typically what I do for boss battles, I normally switch out some of my main party. So Yuna doesn't need to be in right now, but Kimari does. So what you want to do is save it. Like I say, a good save is always okay. So just want to run forward. If you get in any battles, just kill them.
Company, halt!
The fiend before us is Ocho, Lord of the Wood. We've had trouble with this one before. Remember, discretion is the better part of valor.
You could just get into the battle and let your Aeon fight the whole battle, but I don't typically do that because you might be a little. It's not really wise to let that happen. So cast haste on Titus, always a good thing. And as you can see, Poison Claw, and like I told you before, poison is very deadly in this game. As you can see, it has about 4,000 HP. So now, what you want to do is you want to put it on Lulu, because Lulu is going to be the person in this battle. She has a ridiculous. It's weak to fire, so just let her go to work on it. If she does have problems with it, you can just use antidotes. I do it because, like I say, poison will kill you in this game really fast. You just kind of let them wail on it for a second.
Yeah.
Which they are doing. This battle is like ridiculously easily. But if you don't know how to fight this thing, it will kill you very easily. Now, when it does that, typically it'll go to sleep and start recovering HP when it goes about half health. So you just keep, like I say, you just keep wailing on it. This is his large attack, honestly, because I rarely see it done. There's a reason you want to overkill this enemy. I put what's his name in because you really need it. You really needed him, Kimari to get it. I'm gonna try to use Kimari into this this playthrough so you guys can really see what he can do. I typically never use him, but I will for you guys to see what he can, like I say. So summon Balfour. That first time I used energy rays, and now I'm going to show you the other one, and I'm going to show you what I can show you what I can show you the next thing. I'm going to show you energy blast. As you can see, it did well over 2,000 damage to it because Energy Blast is stronger than Energy Ray. So you get that, it's not a lot of AP, but what you did want is those 2 MP spheres that drop. So typically...
Whoa. A summoner and her guardians. Very impressive.
Sir, we should fight too.
We'll get our chance soon.
Young crusaders gather around. We'll beat sin into the ground.
So like I say, that's how you beat that enemy. The biggest takeaway from that is you really wanted to get those MP spheres. If you overkill it, I think that's the only way to get those.
Oh yeah.
So with that, I say these things are really easy.
We're doing all right.
Like, you want to run over here and grab this chest. Run over here, and like I say, save it again, heal up. So this is probably a good time for me to stop because I know the next part is about to get a little long because you do have another boss battle coming up when you get close. So like I say, another smart thing to do, please get your what do you say? How do you say that? Please get the overdrive for your Balfour. It probably help out, especially trying to overkill an enemy. I always recommend overkilling bosses because when you overkill it, more AP, more magic. I'm gonna stress this enough to do the entire playthrough because you get really good items. So for Titus, he's not near anything. I can show you how to use those. Is she near it? So for Yuna, this is one thing to do with MP Spear. So if you see an empty knot and you have an MP Spear, you just pop it in there. I normally use both of these on Titus, but I'm gonna split them. I'm gonna use one on Yuna because Yuna could probably use more MP. So see that now her MP is 144. So now that she done powered up some, let's take a look at Balfour. Balfour's HP didn't go up, shockingly. But the stats probably went up slightly because it went up. Since Yuna's power went up, so I'm gonna save it again. Well, like I said, if you guys watch, give me more comments, give me feedback, anything you may need. If you got any questions about the game, I can help you. So this is James the Show signing off, and I'll be back soon for another video.